I originally started this video off by saying that I was going to talk to you about the importance of not letting yourself down. But we had so much to shoot and we discussed, and it was so interesting. What I want to do is really honor that content and make sure that we can take the most out of that. What I'm going to do is film that in the next video. Today, ladies and gents, I want to talk to you about not letting yourself down. It's a really important piece of information to help build confidence and self-esteem, and also help really to give you the skills to be able to achieve the goals that you want to. Alex Hormozi said that you don't build confidence, you build evidence. And confidence comes as a result of evidence, not the other way around. And I love this because it gives you an actionable step. Rather than just saying, hey, do things in order to build up the confidence, it really gives you an actionable step as to what you need to do. Build evidence. Right now, the reasons why you're failing is because you simply don't have enough evidence to believe in yourself. So think about those friends that you invite out to places that let you down, or people that you can't rely on. We have this belief that we can't trust them because of the evidence that we've collected surrounding their behavior. Now, you treat yourself in exactly the same way, because if you're constantly showing yourself that you will let yourself down, you won't follow through with a task, you won't be consistent or disciplined at it, then why would this time be any different? We need to change that programming, we need to change that belief system. New Year's Eve is a perfect example of this. I can guarantee you right now that you'll have started that year with a massive list of things that you want to change, that you want to achieve. And we all know it's only going to be a matter of a few weeks before that becomes history, before it becomes irrelevant. And the reason why is normally one of three things. It's normally either your education, your consistency or desire to achieve it, or you're not living in alignment with your expectations. So in terms of education, we need to make sure that you're doing the right things. That's such a simple concept, but it's actually very difficult. Take fitness, for example. The whole world, everybody thinks that they can just jump into the gym for a couple of months and know exactly what to do. It isn't that simple. You need to be doing the right things in order to achieve what you want to. So for example, if you're looking at maximizing muscle, you need to talk to someone about hypertrophy that knows what they're doing. And to speed up that process, I always recommend hiring someone. Hire a personal trainer, hire an online coach. Make sure you're being as optimal and as efficient as you can, and learn as much as you can so that you can do it in the most efficient and quickest time period. Consistency is the biggest key here. If you do something for a long period of time, you are guaranteed to get results. The power of compounding is just too powerful. But the caveat to that statement is you need to be doing the right thing, which brings me back to that point about education. If you're consistently doing the right things, it's almost impossible for you to fail. Also, if you don't desire it enough, if you don't actually want it, this is something that I see a lot as a coach with my friends and clients, is people will say they want one thing, but they're not willing to do the work that is also required to achieve it. That brings me on to my third and final point. You're not living aligned with your expectations. Now, you can't expect to get the best possible results if you're not willing to put in the work that's required to do so. Now, with fitness, it's almost a false narrative that the more you do is the better, but the consistency, the discipline, the right things for a long period of time are going to get you the results that you want. If you're not willing to put the work in for that long period of time, then you simply just won't get the results that you want. Let's use business as another analysis of this. If you're constantly doing the hard work and it compounds over time, then you'll probably get to running a successful business. But you're not going to get to a 6-figure business in 6 months. You might do, but it's very unlikely. If you're patient, you're consistent, you're disciplined, you're living aligned with your goals and expectations, you'll get there eventually. Now, the problem is when you let yourself down, you're actually building evidence to the contrary of what you want. We're further compounding the fact that you can't rely on yourself. We're compounding the fact that it's only a matter of time before you fail, before you give up. Now, how is that going to build any confidence or self-esteem in you, your goals, and your own mindset? But how do we stop that happening? One book that I love is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And it really talks about taking ownership over absolutely everything. Taking responsibility and accountability are two huge things that I've implemented over the last couple of years, and it has made the biggest difference out of everything. This book teaches you that everything is your fault. If things are going well, it's your fault. If things are not going well, it's your fault. Now, in business, this is an easy thing to misconstrue. So for example, if you hire someone or you get someone to do a task, they don't do it up to your expectations, it's your fault. You didn't explain it well enough. You didn't double check that they understood what you were trying to achieve out of the project. With fitness, it's obviously much simpler. If you don't go to the gym, it's your fault. You didn't make time for it. You didn't allow for the realism of what you're trying to achieve, the sustainability. Does it fit with your lifestyle right now? Is your lifestyle conflicting with your goals? All of these things are controllable. So we bring it back to the baseline fundamental. Everything is your fault. Extreme ownership. In order to build some evidence that you can trust yourself, you can rely on yourself, we need to start very, very small. Use the Goldilocks principle here. The Goldilocks principle is something that's not too easy, not too hard, but it is just right. Now, this is a relative thing because if we look at Elon Musk, he's looking at putting people on Mars. The stuff that guy is doing is impossible for most of us to achieve. But again, it's a relative journey. He didn't start there, and neither are we. So what we're going to do is look at something small and actionable. I would start at, if you're not doing anything at the moment, start at having a wake-up time. Just make that your evidence, that you get up at a certain time every single day. That's a hard line in the sand and you don't break it. That's the promise that you're making. It could be anything, but that's a very easy example. But as soon as you've built that evidence, then you can stack on top of something else. Looking at the book I've spoken about in the past, Atomic Habits, you can also implement a skill in there called habit stacking. Once you've done that, once you've established one habit, it's easy to establish another on top of it. So for example, meditation. You get out of bed by 7 a.m. every day. That's your waking time. But your next habit is you don't stay in bed. Okay, that's the next one. You've stacked that on top of your waking time. The next one on top of that could be you meditate for 5 minutes, and that's a non-negotiable. And you can start to see how now we're building a routine around just simply waking up, and we're building up the evidence of who you are, you can rely on yourself, and you are accountable to these things. So you can really start to see how now that even small things are going to start to build this evidence up that your self-esteem, your confidence in yourself will grow because you have the ability now to follow through with the tasks that you're being set. Remember, it's important you know what to do, you're consistent with what you're doing, and you're living aligned with those expectations. So that's it for today's video. I hope it's been valuable. Please like, comment below with your thoughts, subscribe, hit the bell notification for more videos when they're released, and I'll see you in the next one.